Welcome back to the Cherry Pinstripes podcast. We have a Brave series that I'm not really looking forward to breaking down because it was the first hiccup in the road for the Phillies. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Atlanta Braves. They lose game 1, 7-5 in a Wheeler start. They win game 2, and then in the rubber match game 3, they lost 4-2. I'm going to talk a little bit today about the outfield. We're going to talk about the bullpen. We got the Cardinals series that starts later tonight, and we got a first little minor league recap, couple guys to talk about from down in the minor leagues early this season. But we're starting, of course, with this Brave series. I said we lost game 1, 7-5. Wheeler just didn't look like himself from the jump in this game. Didn't have his best stuff. Didn't strike out a batter until the 6th batter of the game, which is usually telltale. He usually has a strikeout or 2 in that first inning. He always looks dominant right away. Gave up a home run that Edmundo Sosa brought back. Edmundo Sosa in left field in this game robbed a home run. Also had that hiccup with Johan Rojas. It seems like they were both calling for it. There was a miscommunication and ends up falling at their feet. Those are the type of plays that you hate seeing it. It's little league stuff, but at the end of the day, they've never played together out there. Edmundo Sosa's never played left field before. This is 2 different guys with 2 different backgrounds that have never played the outfield before. It was unfortunate. But besides the fact that Wheeler did get a little bit unlucky with that ball that dropped in, just didn't look like himself. Was walking batters. The pitch count was up early. He didn't really strike anyone out. He made this start work. He gave up the home run. Then he got 3 or 4 shutout innings and then imploded again before he was eventually taken out, and the Phillies lost that one 7-5. But they bounced back. They win game 2 in this series where Taijuan Walker, coming off that shutout against the Rockies, goes 4 2/3. Again, does not give up any runs, holding a 0 flat ERA to start the season. He did get himself into a little bit of trouble with the bullpen, bailed him out, and then they went on to win the game 4-3. And then they lost that rubber match game last night, which admittedly didn't even see the end of it because we had a 4-hour rain delay. 4 to 6 a.m. train to catch. They were playing baseball at 1 o'clock in the morning. Phillies lose it 4-2 on a Marcell Ozuna walk-off home run off my boy Joe Ross. Jesus Luzardo pitched great in this game. Another gem from him. 6 innings, just the 1 run, 6 strikeouts. The Phils had their chances in this one. I hear, and I did watch the recaps, some guys were left on base late in this game after the rain delay, so some at-bats we want back late in this one. But the thing that was heavily discussed amongst the Phillies interwebs and communities over the last 24 hours has been the bullpen. The bullpen the pitching staff did not look great down in Atlanta. But I want to say, admittedly, it's kind of just been one guy. Like one guy ruined it in every game. You got that first game of the series where your ace, and this is the worst way to start any week, worst way to start any series, is have your ace get kind of touched up and you got to go into the bullpen early. But then Jordan Romano, again, has not looked great in this series, and I was ready to come on here and talk about that today. We will get into the bullpen more in depth later, but Jordan Romano ended up actually having a bounce-back inning in the third game of the series last night. He looked nasty, actually. It was up 97-98. Velo was up for the first time this season. So he's now had 1 inning that he can work on. He has escaped the hot seat for today's episode. But Joe Ross, who I was very excited about coming into the season, has kind of just been giving up nukes. Gives up that walk-off home run last night. We'll see if he can settle in. But the bullpen overall hasn't looked bad. And there's a couple guys I want to talk about that aren't getting too much love. But overall for that series, we had the weird outfield situation. Harper hit his first home run since opening day. Schwarber had another good series. Trey Turner had a big home run in game 2 to give the Phillies the lead late. Lots of storylines with this team. One noticeable issue is the 4-hole plate. Alec Boehm is off to a rough start. He's been in the 4-hole. They plugged him in behind Bryce Harper to start the season. He's batting 160 right now. But last night, game 3 of that series, they put Nick Castellanos in the 4-hole. Nick Castellanos, who's been playing great this season, went 0 for 5 with a platinum sombrero. 5 Ks for Nick Castellanos. First game in the 4-hole. Maybe there's just some pressure batting behind Bryce Harper. There's obviously a mental difference when you're batting behind a guy like Bryce Harper versus any other spot in the lineup. We've seen multiple guys come through. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but so far this season, not getting production directly behind Bryce Harper has been an issue for this ball club. And another sidebar here with Nick Castellanos, I've said he's been really patient this year. He's laid off that slider down and away. He's been a lot more picky this season than normal. All 5 of those strikeouts were on that slider down and away that we're used to him just flailing his bat at. He's looked better at it this season. 0 for 5 with a platinum sombrero on the same pitch is a tough look. But the outfield, Nick Castellanos is the one guy who's locked in. Let's just talk about the overall makeup of this outfield right now. Because Brandon Marsh is playing really bad, and it's got everyone talking. Johan Rojas, I've said this ever since the Phillies signed Max Kepler. He kind of put Johan Rojas in the right role. This is what we wanted last year when we signed Whit Merrifield, to have a veteran come in to eat up some at-bats, push Johan Rojas off of the starter role and into more of the utility outfielder role. Whit Merrifield was so bad we couldn't play him anymore, and Johan Rojas ended up getting more at-bats than we wanted last year. Johan Rojas now this year, not getting as many at-bats. He's batting .400 right now, by the way. He's 4 for 10 on the season as a defensive replacement spot start guy. Love him in that role, and that's exactly what isolates Brandon Marsh right now with this team. Brandon Marsh isn't really someone you're just going to hang out on your bench as a defensive replacement guy. If he's not going to do it at all offensively, I don't know what his role is on this team. So he's kind of putting himself in a weird spot right now, to where he's almost playing himself into that Mickey Moniak role, where we want to get you at-bats, we want you to be out there, we're even willing to go full send, you're a platoon, that's fine, but he's really played himself out of at-bats, and, I mean, Edmundo Sosa's in left field in April. For the first time in his career, we're running outfielders out there just as, this guy's bat's hot and Brandon Marsh can't hit a beach ball, let's put the backup shortstop in left field. That's what's going on right now. So that's a little bit tough. And we've seen some Justin Crawford narratives. Let me just say Justin Crawford's off to a good start in AAA. His first season at the AAA level. He had a hot streak last week that had everyone talking. I want to say he had 2 3-hit games, 4 multi-hit games on the week. But he is he's still just batting .265, .650 OPS. He's getting those at-bats at the AAA level. He's not ready yet. And Brandon Marsh playing really bad doesn't mean that we need to force him to be ready. Justin Crawford is most likely going to see the Philadelphia Phillies at some point this summer, but it will most likely be later in the summer. What the Phillies need right now is for Brandon Marsh to just simply play better baseball. We're calling out Brandon Marsh right now. You're on the hot seat. It's time that Brandon Marsh, a guy that I was pushing T-shirts on last year, he's officially on the Shelfy hot seat. Needs you to play better. Max Kepler took a lot of pressure off of Johan Rojas. Nick Castellanos has played really well this season. Brandon Marsh can really solidify things in this lineup. Is that right now, the haters and the critiques online, they're all right. This 8-9 spot in the lineup and this 1 spot in the outfield that we just can't seem to get a guy to lock in. We're losing games because of it. This is almost a full negative run in WAR for Brandon Marsh already this season. He's played bad, really bad, not just against lefties, it's against both hands. And really, it dates all the way back to the All-Star game of last year. He's batting .217 since the All-Star game of 2024. That's not good. Now, the other issue with this team right now, or sort of, is the bullpen. This is the one topic where I tend to lean more optimistic than pessimistic, is this bullpen. Because yes, Jordan Romano has not looked great. It's been a slow start. He got touched up by the Dodgers. And my boy Joe Ross currently looks like he's out there throwing batting practice. But those are the depth guys. Let's keep that in mind. Whether they pitched great or not, the Phillies will be adding depth pitching at the deadline this year. They will be in the hunt for bullpen arms. This is not the playoff bullpen, the team that you're looking at right now. And I'd love to see Jordan Romano and Joe Ross play themselves into those positions, but they really are on a 2-3 month tryout right now. And then the Phillies will be looking into adding assets later. Just being straightforward. Matt Strahm is the best left-handed relief pitcher in baseball. I will put my foot on that. He has a 0 ERA right now. He has a 2.2 ERA in 3 years since he joined the Phillies. That is insane. You can use him lefty or righty. They're using him for multiple innings. He's a Swiss Army knife for this team. 0 ERA. Orion Kerkering, 1.93 ERA. Jose Alvarado, 1.42 ERA. Tanner Banks, 1.8 ERA. That's 3 lefties with a sub-2 ERA, not even including Orion Kerkering. I know it sucks when you have that big blow-up inning or you get walked off like Joe Ross did last night. We want to win 162 games. I promise you, every fan base in the league would love to have our bullpen. We have a very good bullpen. It might feel a little top-heavy right now. Need the back-end guys to pick it up. But there's 4 legitimate arms in this pen right now. And Tanner Banks, I'm going to throw him in the legit arm category because he's a veteran now. I believe he's 32, 33 years old. He's been around the block a few times. He's played for multiple teams. He's been solid for multiple teams. I like Tanner Banks, and Tanner Banks maybe now jumps up into, for at least for the time being, maybe more high-leverage innings. Maybe we don't see Joe Ross in the 10th. This one's for Topper. Maybe we don't see Joe Ross in the 10th when Kirk hasn't pitched. I don't know. But I'm very high on this bullpen. I still think this is the top 5 bullpen in the league, even though there's been a couple spotty moments here. There's going to be spotty moments. That's baseball. The bullpen is like the hardest thing to lock down. You need 6 or 7 guys out there, and there's going to be a weak link. There's going to be 2 guys that every time they come in, you're like, you're clenching a bunch of. I'm going to say right now, my guy Biondi, producer of this show, Yankees fan. I've seen everyone online say the Phillies didn't prioritize bullpen in the offseason. I'm going to ask, how's Devin Williams looked? He has not looked great. It's a tough job. And I'm sure by the end of the year, Devin Williams is going to end up with a really good stat line. I still have faith that Jordan Romano can at least be a serviceable arm in this bullpen. And that's all that they need as long as Alvarado and Strahm and Kerkering and these other guys are going. At the end of the day, it was a Braves-Dodgers back-to-back. They played 2 of the best teams in baseball. The Braves got Sean Murphy back for that series. For the first time since opening day, they had Chris Sale in the top of their lineup. Sale, Schwellenbach in order going. It's a tough 2 series, and they split. They went 3-3 against the Dodgers and the Braves. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. But I will admit, I have my eyes on them. I'm looking at Brandon Marsh in this upcoming series against the Cardinals. I'm looking at the depth. First guy out of the bullpen over the next couple of weeks with this team. And I think Aaron Nola is going to have an Aaron Nola start tonight. The Phillies are going at, I believe, 8 o'clock tonight in St. Louis. And then they have back-to-back 2 p.m. starts where you're going to see Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler go this weekend in a 3-game set against the Cardinals. But this is that time where Aaron Nola locks in and goes like 7, gives up the 460-foot solo shot, and the Phillies get right back in the win column tonight. I'm okay with where we're at. Going to give you a quick little minor league breakdown. We talked about Justin Crawford a little bit. He's looked solid. Overall, his stats, if you looked them up, they wouldn't blow your socks off, but he's had multiple 3-hit games. He's stealing bags. He looks good in the outfield. And like I said last week, that Iron Pigs team still has not lost a game since I mentioned them last week. They're 10-2 now. That is a deep ball club in Lehigh, and I fully and truly believe in the iron sharpens iron, like just persona. There's something about being in a good clubhouse. There's something about being in a good environment and around good players. It's no mistake that all them years with the Tampa Bay Rays were making the playoffs with that lower payroll, that they had the best AAA team, and they had a top 3 AA team at every level of the minor leagues. There was one year they won the championship in every single level of the minor leagues, and the Rays made the playoffs with a bottom 5 payroll. Being in those environments and in those cultures and in those locker rooms and those clubhouses, it can do a lot. And the Phillies have built a culture over the last 5 or 6 years, and it's now spreading into the minor leagues. The system's deeper. They haven't let go of too many guys over the last few years. They're going to make deals this season. We're going to see some changes in this bullpen probably in a month or so. I give it probably a month. If things don't change with Jordan Romano or Joe Ross, you'll see them make a move for one guy. But for now, we got the Cardinals coming up, 3-game set. My dog of the week is Kyle Schwarber. This guy in a contract year coming out guns blazing. You ever see a DH win MVP? You might. They got a guy in L.A. that does that. Listen, man, Schwarber looking like he's going to have another big 40-homer, 100-walk season. I don't care if he wants a raise. Give this man a little extension. He's so Philly. He's hit more home runs with the Phillies than any of the other team that he's been with now at this point. And the Red Sox loved him. The Cubs won a World Series with him. I need this guy in a Phillies uniform for the rest of his career. He fits here and leads off the lineup. Great. Go Phils tonight in St. Louis. Nola on the mound. Make sure you guys subscribe to the pod here on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, whatever you're on, go check out the other side. And we'll see you guys next week. Phillies next series later on Monday. I will see you guys on Monday.